So we move to the next section. We talk about the gross profit. So for this one, for the advanced version, we will try to include more items when we calculate the gross profit. So for previously, we know that when we calculate the gross profit, we just simply use the GP equal to sales minus the cost of goods sold. And then for the sales, then for the cost of goods sold, we have opening inventory plus the purchases minus the closing inventory. So when you compare these two, from the advanced version, or you say more items included, will comes from the sales and also the purchases. Okay, so we find the sales right here. We include more item right here, and also for the purchases as well. So let's take a look. What are the new items that we added? So for the items right here for the sales, we include a new one. We call it return inverse. Okay, so return inverse in Chinese that we call it 消貨退貨. Okay, it means that for the customers, okay, so for return inverse, okay, normally we call it return in. So for return in, that means the customers return goods to the firm. Okay. Okay. And for this new item, because we have subtraction right here, so normally we call this a net sales. Okay, we call the whole item, we call it net sales. And for the new purchases, we also find we call it net purchases. Okay, it's a net purchases. Okay. So for the net purchases, we include two new terms right here. One is related to the carriage inverse. Carriage inverse in Chinese, that means 購貨運費. Okay, that means when you purchase some of the goods, and then you need to pay the delivery fee. Okay, to the logistic firm. Okay, so we add this into the cost of goods sold. Okay, add to the cost. Another one is 購貨退貨. Okay. So for this one, related to the goods. Okay, that means the firm return the goods to the supplier. Okay. And they find the goods are not suitable for them, then they return the goods to the supplier. So we have a new gross profit for the calculation. So please take a look, and then we will move on to the example 6. So this should be example 7. Okay. And then a typo here. Please help to amend for me. Example 7. So we talk about it today. And for example 7, we have 20 items we need to calculate. So let's take a look. So for the first one, we will tell you how to calculate net sales. Okay. So for the net sales, we have the formula. Okay. Remember, it's net sales, and the formula will be the sales minus the return inverse, right? The return in. Okay, the return in. So we just pop in the numbers, and then for the purchases right here, it will be the amount of this one, and then minus the return inverse. Okay, So we will find the final amount will be, okay, and then we go to the next one, net purchases. Okay, so the net purchases, we have three items right here: the original purchases plus the carriage in, and then minus the return out. Okay, so purchase and then return out and the carriage in. Okay, first simply plug in the numbers. And then if you have the calculator, you will find the amount should be, okay. And the last two, we will have the cost of goods sold. So for the cost of goods sold, we have the opening inventory plus the net purchases, okay, the new one, and then minus the closing inventory. So this the earlier days the inventory will OI and the closing inventory will be the later date at the date. Okay, so and then we have the net purchases. So we just simply plug in the numbers. So we'll find the final answer will be, so the last one with the gross profit. And remember now the gross profit, we have the net sales, right? And then minus the cost of goods sold. So we have the net sales, okay, should be the, you get it from part 1, okay, for the net sales, okay, and then minus the cost of goods sold. Okay, you get the cost of goods sold right here. Okay, and the final one you find should be, okay, and you find that for one item we have not used it, and this item shall be the carriage hours, okay, because the carriage hours is classified as the expenses, so it won't be used, okay, in the calculation of gross profit. Okay, so please also finish practice 6. Okay, and you can find the answer right here, okay, for the items of 1 to 4. Okay, so for the fourth one should be calculating the net profit. Okay, so you need to have a combination on that. And also calculate the practice 7. Okay, try to calculate the question of practice 7, and you can find the answer right here. Also, please show the workings. Just to remind you some items, for example, the revenue and certain kinds of expenses. Okay, so others, please try by yourself. Okay, and the others use it in calculating the gross profit. Okay, or the cost of goods sold. Okay, so please try it by yourself.